it's Heather from Canterbury Blue. Just wanted to bring you in on our session for retracking some vocals on Glass Finger. In listening to the tracks before we do our final mix, I realized, you know what, this just does not sound the way I want it to. It's just not like deep enough, it doesn't tug at your heartstrings enough. So we are going to attempt to punch in the verses, perhaps the choruses if it's going well. So we just want to take you through that process. And another thing I wanted to mention is just how important it is to be in such, your zone, your environment, especially for a female, whatever that is, whether it's running, taking a nap, doing whatever you need to do, really hone in on that and make sure that you utilize that when you record, because that is really going to give you the best overall recording. Your voice will be relaxed and you'll be much more productive. So hope this session goes well and hope you enjoy. Thanks.
Hey everybody, so like Heather said, we've got a new session open for her vocals for Glass Finger, and what we've done is we've consolidated all of the instrument tracks to one track to make some space. We've also kept all of her previous vocal takes and we're just going to mute them, but hold on to them so we can make some comparisons along the way. To get started, we're going to make a new audio track and
turn on one plugin called the Grigwell's VoiceCentric. And what this is going to do is give us a little bit of compression on the way in,
as well as a little bit of reverb and doubling, but mainly we want that compression going in just a little so we can have a cleaner product later on. Ready?
Yeah.
Built a castle, walls so high. Yeah, we are your soldiers, and we rise, we fight.
Not good?
Built a castle, walls so high. Yeah, we are your soldiers, and we rise. Severed hearts don't cause a fright. Yeah, you are the armor through the night. We fight, armor through the night. We fight. What do we do in normal space when we are not aware?
Okay, so now that we have the new Glass Finger vocals recorded, we're going to bounce these as waves out of this session and import them into the master session for editing and mixing. So here we go. Okay, so we are back in our master session, and I'm going to go ahead and start importing the new vocals. So I have our previous verse 1 here. All I'm going to do is add a new audio track, and then from here going to import new audio. Okay. And after listening to these as well, Heather has decided that she likes the first half of the new vocals, but the second half of the verse. So we're going to do what we can to splice them together as well. So I'm just going to import verse 2, and then we'll get started. Okay, so over to verse 1. we have this new track that she just did.
Built a castle, walls so high. Yeah, we are your soldiers.
So we're going to keep that and bring down the second half of the previous take. And you're going to hear some popping and clicking in the audio, and I believe that's just because of the recording software in the background. So those won't be there when we go to bounce this. So we're going to get rid of the second half, bring this down, and go ahead and we're going to put our Greg Wells plugin back on and just see where we are with the tone.
Built a castle, walls so high. Yeah, we are your soldiers, and we rise, we fight. Severed hearts don't cause a fright. Yeah, you are the armor through the night, we fight.
Okay, so already fairly consistent, and when we EQ it, it'll bring it all together. So what I want to do first is go in and take a look at some of these phrases and get rid of some of the breaths before I do anything else.
Built a castle, castle, walls so high.
And the reason we're doing this is just because when you start adding more effects on top of these vocals, those breaths start to sound digital.
Yeah, we are your soldiers, and we rise, we fight.
I'm going to clip the end off of this.
Severed hearts don't cause a fright. Yeah. Yeah, you are the armor through the night, we fight.
All right, so we have that. So what we're going to do next is just double check, and she hates it when I do this, but we're going to turn on our flex tune and just see if anything is crazy out of line. Otherwise we're going to leave it just for the tonality of it.
Built a castle, walls so high.
Okay, so for here, this is looking a little more sharp than I'd like. So I'm going to bring that down.
Walls so high. So high. Yeah, we are your soldiers. And soldiers, and we run.
We're just going to bring down the drift on this one, so it's a little straighter.
And we rise, we fight.
And the vibrato down on that one.
Fight.
Okay.
Severed hearts don't cause a fright. Yeah, you are the armor through the night, we fight.
Yep, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and do the same with verse 2, just so we don't get, we don't skip any steps. And I believe for the new verse, she likes all of it, all of the new takes. So we're going to take a look at this.
You were here.
And first we're going to start again by getting rid of any really noticeable breaths.
And now you're gone. Our cannons were pointed. Now we're frozen. Whoa.
And just going to get rid of this gap here as well.
In the dark world, you
And you can see all of these little clicks and things, breaths that shouldn't be there.
a beacon of
So we're just going to get rid of them.
A beacon of hope was love.
And that should be good. And any kind of noise removal. And then again, we're going to go in and take a look at our tuning before we do any effects other than what we already have on. In fact, we should put on this one here.
You were here and now you're gone. Our cannons were pointed.
Both of those. Gonna bring them down a little.
Now pointed. Now we're frozen. Frozen. Whoa.
Okay, moving on.
Whoa.
That's nice.
In the dark world, in the dark world, you will light, a beacon of hope when all was lost.
Okay, so there we go. All in all, no major mistakes. You could leave it. It's really a matter of preference. For our music, we like it to really have that industry crisp sound to the vocals, so it's important to have everything in tune and quantized to the beat if necessary. But Heather's vocal style, we usually like to let it flow a little bit more. So we're going to leave that where it is. Next, we're just going to take a look at our basic effects and EQ. Back to verse 1.
Built a castle, walls so high.
So let's take a look at where it is with the music just for starters.
Built a castle, walls so high. Yeah, we are your soldiers, and we rise, we fight.
Okay, so so far it's sounding pretty nice. I would like to give it a little more wash without letting it lose too much of the presence there. So how I like to do that is first we're going to bring in a vocal EQ. And there's a really nice preset here actually. It's called Female Vocal Refresh. And that just lifts your high end a little bit. And next I'm going to come down to our reverb, Platinum Verb. And that in conjunction with the Greg Wells, usually pretty nice. Also I'm going to bring in a de-esser. And put that before our reverb here. And we'll see what we get.
Built a castle, walls so high. Yeah, we are your soldiers, and we rise, we fight.
So I'm going to bring down the reverb on that just a little, and also the EQ is a little tinny. So I'm going to bring the low back up just a bit and tweak this. Yeah, and if the defaults work good for you, then that's fine. But for me, it's just a nice starting point.
Built a castle, walls so high. Yeah, we are your soldiers, and we rise, we fight. Severed hearts don't cause a fight. We fight. Severed.
Okay, so here, because this is from a past session, it's sounding a little quieter. So I'm just going to adjust the gain just on the second half of this verse to blend them together a little bit.
Severed hearts don't rise, we fight. Severed hearts don't cause a fright. Yeah, you are the armor through the night, we fight.
Okay, so that's sounding pretty good for right now.
Built a castle. Walls so high. Yeah, we are your soldiers, and we rise, we fight.
Okay, so we're going to do the same kind of thing for verse 2. In fact, the easiest way to do that, now that you have everything set the way you like, is to duplicate that track. We're going to go ahead and name it verse 2. And we're going to bring that down underneath where we know our vocal is. We're just going to drop that down to the track that has the EQ and everything set. So from there, so all in all, that's sounding pretty good. We have these harmonies here, so that takes me to one more trick I would like to show you. We're going to make some harmonies here, and as a rule, it's usually best to sing them, but that really hard tuned sound can add an interesting tone to what you've got going on. So if we take a look at this,
Now we're frozen, whoa.
we basically have a copy of our verse 2. So I'm going to go in and tune in a harmony using this pre-existing vocal track.
We're we're
See, so that sounds pretty nice. From there, we're going to just pan that a little bit and also take a little bit of the higher end out, which gets rid of some of the roboticness.
Now we're frozen. Whoa.
Sounds good. We're going to do that one more time with the end of the second half.
When
And you know, as far as determining what harmony works best, really it's just a matter of learning your scales, and typically you want your harmonies to be lower than your melody, otherwise it can overpower it a little bit, but it can be done.
was lost. Whoa.
Again, quite a lot of noise from the screen recording eating up the processor, but otherwise very nice.
Now we're frozen. Whoa.
So we're going to see how that sounds with the music.
You were here and now you're gone. Our cannons were pointed. Now we're frozen. Whoa. In the dark world, you were light, a beacon of hope when all was lost. Whoa.
All right, so that's a good starting point. There will be more mixing to be done to get it all leveled, but right now we want to keep this vocal take kind of on top of the mix. Let Heather listen to it, see if she's happy, because at the end of the day you want to make your vocalist happy with the performance. And that's anybody for that matter. I can't tell you how many times I've recorded something and I'm listening, you know, 2-3 months down the line, and I say, I know I could have done that better. And everybody wants to be a perfectionist in the studio, so you have to find a balance between saying enough is enough and I know I can do this better now. So that's a luxury we have, being able to record ourselves. So we're going to take this mix of the vocals, kind of listen to it for a few days, and then from there, if Heather has any adjustments she wants made, or if she wants to retake it entirely, we do that. We set up a new session and we do the same thing all over. But for now, we're going to bounce this down and see how it sounds. Again, thank you guys for joining us. We're going to continue to do these things and try to give you a peek into our process working through this, and I hope it's enjoyable. Until next time, thanks. Bye.